action, but how will all of these overnight cues impact our own Indian market? We now have our research team joining in with how the trade setup looks like and the stocks that are likely to be in the news. First up, Vinny is joining in to get us a wrap of all the market cues that we need to watch out for in today's trading session. Good morning, Vinny.
Hi, good morning, Vamakshi. So obviously an interesting day coming in today as well. Third consecutive day of gain we saw in the Nifty yesterday also. Nifty continued its up move, 25,500, more than 1% of uptick what we saw coming in for the Nifty yesterday. Now Nifty Bank also surged to all-time high levels intraday yesterday, and mid and small cap that too continued its rally for the fifth day. So clearly bulls were in charge this week, and that is what we are expecting to see in today's trading session as well. What is aiding all this, or what's leading to the uptick in the rally, is obviously geopolitical tensions easing in the West Asia is something that's a positive, and because of that positive sentiments and cues coming in even for crude oil. Crude oil has remained around the $65 per barrel mark. Weakening dollar, that's also a factor that's playing out for the Indian markets. Now FIIs in yesterday's trading session, obviously given those so many block deals that were there, we're seeing FII number coming in at 12,594 crore buying from FII, while DIIs were sellers of 195 crore rupees. Factors that we're watching out for today. Now this morning we had some commentary that came in from the White House saying that the deadline is not critical, and they could look to extend that as well, the 9th July tariff deadline. So that's not a worry, and obviously more details came in saying that they could sign a pact with India. That would be great as well. Nifty implied open is indicating a positive start right now, more than 100 points uptick that we're seeing there.
And the bulls will hope to build on to that. Vinny, thanks a lot for that update. Over to Upasana now. List out the stocks you need to keep an eye out for today. Upasana, good morning.
Good morning. First up, let me start with Hitachi Energy. The company bags order to supply 30 units of 765 kilowatt transformers from Power Grid. Next up is Tata Power. It applies to Maharashtra Electricity Regulatory Commission for a license to distribute electricity to new areas across Mumbai metropolitan region as well as other parts of the Maharashtra state. Next up is NTPC. The company declares commercial operation of Unit 3 of 660 megawatt power super thermal power project. Hence, this stock will also be on our radar today. Next up is Power Mech Projects. Company has received 159 crore worth order to build 13.6 megawatt solar power across Bihar, and it has received this order from Bihar State Power Generation Company for nearly about 25 years is what the company has indicated. And lastly, HCL Tech also in focus as it expands its partnership with Salesforce to accelerate enterprise adoption, agentic AI with new services. So all in all these stocks will be on our radar today.
Well, thank you so much for that, Upasana. And finally, we now have Hormaz to take us through the cues from the world of F&O. Good morning, Hormaz.
Well, it was a very strong session yesterday, there's no doubt about it, especially for the benchmark indices led by a lot of short covering seen in the banking index. The Nifty 300-point up move on the Nifty and finally breaking out of that range. The broader markets, though ending higher, recovering from the lows, but in comparison to the benchmarks were slightly subdued. And the start to the July series is no different. The GIFT Nifty for now is indicating a gap up, as Vinny was just highlighting a few minutes earlier. And if you look at the FII data yesterday, it was a very big number that comes in. Of course, you need to keep in mind that there were a lot of block deals that took place yesterday in PB Fintech, in delivery. Of course, that number was not significant, but yes, there is some buying that has come in from the FII front. There were buyers in index futures. They've added net longs. They've cut some short positions as well. So that is another positive that is coming in. We are heading into a new series with the long exposure at 38%, higher than June and at par with what we saw at the start of the May and the April series. So that is the FII positioning that's coming. Now you take a look at the options as well. The 25,500 call and the 25,600 call is where you're seeing additions of open interest. But on the put side, the 25,500 put and the 25,400 put has also seen significant writing, and that you can see the fact that they're trying to move the supports higher, whereas the index continues to move on the upside as well. Now for the support levels, of course, that 25,300 to 25,000 mark remains that base. Now the moving higher, with 25,700 being the next resistance point. We're just 150 points away from that level. Of course, earnings in this season, we begin earnings in just a few days from now. The tariff updates, FII flows, we keep an eye out on all of this in the July series. So an important series that is lined up. We have not gained for 5 straight F&O series since 2017. So the bulls would look to overturn that update, Vamakshi.
Well, thank you so much for that, Hormaz. But